Coming to you live from the rinks in Oppog, you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here and only on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan joined alongside Magnus Healy. And Magnus, we're in for a treat here for our second game here on the south side at the JV level. Northport Huntington taking on KPC. Northport Huntington 0-1 heading into the matchup, whereas KPC 1-0, and they couldn't have started better, KPC, in their opening game.
No, certainly. KPC with a 5-0 win over the Smithtown squad. Smithtown notoriously known as being one of the heavy hitters in this hockey league. So what better way to start off your season by not only beating them, but not allowing a single goal. And the credit there goes to Grayson Ebel, number 32 of the winning team.
Yep. Ebley in net for KPC, did a fabulous job. Couldn't have done much better. Getting the shutout, his first of the season, and offensively, they were powered by a hat trick from Matthew DeFeo as KPC rolled past, as you mentioned, a heavy hitter. Not just any heavy hitter, but the team that knocked them out just a season ago in Smithtown Hauppauge in the playoffs. Smithtown Hauppauge, the 2 seed, KPC, the 7 seed. And KPC met their fate in that first round of the JV playoffs. And it was Smithtown Hauppauge who went all the way to the championship game, ultimately falling to the eventual champions, ESM, their first as a team at any level. And thus, we'll take a look now on the other side of the ice. Northport Huntington, they fell to East Islip 7-3, but that game way closer than the score would indicate, as it was a 1-goal game in the third period when ultimately taking control of the game and pulling away in the third East Islip. But a great showing from Northport Huntington, a Northport Huntington team who just a season ago in the JV division had just 1 win to show for themselves. They looked much better against a much improved East Islip JV team in that opening week loss back on September the 15th. And thus, setting the stage here tonight between KPC and Northport Huntington. The Tigers will have pretty much a full lineup here tonight, and in net for the Tigers will likely be the only goalie on the ice right now, Rex Mascotti. With Frank Mascotti, his father being one of the head coach, one of the members of the coaching staff on the other end of the ice. It looks like, and why wouldn't you go back to Grayson Ebley, number 32. It is worth noting that Chris Guarnieri is also on the ice for KPC. Could be either one of those goaltenders. That remains to be seen as we hit double zeros. KPC, Northport Huntington coming right your way in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Welcome back to LI Sports Network's coverage of the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. Ryan Brannigan, Magnus Healy, our cameraman Wally Mitchell, bringing you what should be a great matchup. KPC, Northport Huntington, two teams that don't like each other. Call it geographic proximity, call it prior matchups. Coyle to take the draw and will win the draw from Northport Huntington's Finn Driscoll. Early possession for KPC is short-lived as they turn the puck over. Landman back on it. Good centering feed, Coyle. Coyle onside over the line, lost control, and a good breakout pass. Northport Huntington trying to go the other way, calling for it, looking for it, driving in with speed. Peter Mikowski briefly rolled on for Guarneri. It will be Guarneri in net, at least to start here for KPC. On for Landman. Again, good forecheck and creating the turnover, Mikowski. Now on for brief touch for captain Jack Fernandez of Northport Huntington. Good possession though as KPC reestablished control in the zone. Pugh only had it for a moment before it rolls on to Mikowski. Tried to bank it off the wall and out. A collision that now involved Nick Ganisi. Around it goes to the far side. Good little touch pass on for Ganisi with Mikowski. Mikowski shot blocked by DeFeo. He gets checked into the boards. Now along the far side, KPC breakout. Lead pass, trying to connect that time with Cecilia. However, would not. Still in the zone. And that goes off the side of the net. Mascotti was there regardless. Now to the line, quick transition. Grayson Henderson will wrap it in for Northport Huntington. Good stick lift there on Chris Quinn. Behind the net, centering feed wouldn't go. Good effort from Cormac Driscoll. And again, Henderson has it, lost it. Good defensive play with the box out from Jikas. Schwartz now on it. Try to backhand one for Cecilia, and it's intercepted, but the shot from Matarese deflects up and over. Allows Schwartz to niftily make his way through the neutral zone, dumps it in, rolls on to Mascotti, who is content to just cover it with 12:54 to go here in the first. Not too many prime scoring chances for either side here early.
Yeah, no, definitely the puck going up and down. Pretty favored, kind of split between possession here between Northport and KPC. No true offensive juggernaut shown yet.
And a lot of signs in the building supporting the Northport Huntington Tigers to our right. I believe some students making their way out. Trying to break out of the zone. Northport Huntington hit the skates of the official. Does eventually come out of the zone to DeFeo. DeFeo has it taken away. Henderson couldn't quite get the puck in a shooting position, and away it comes. DeFeo trying to go inside outside on Aiden Junkin. Centering feed deflects wide. Had Coyle set up in front. Puck shifted around by Costanzo. Go ahead.
Yeah, some nifty moves we're seeing here from this KPC squad. Early pressure on this Northport defense, kind of facilitating the puck well, getting in the hands of the right guys. Not yet opportunity lanes kind of showing yet.
It's controlled by Jackson Muller along the far wall. Good centering feed. Coyle gets his feet taken out from under him. It will be a penalty against Northport Huntington, our first of the game, and it didn't take long. As we're 3 minutes, 15 seconds into the contest, Northport Huntington will find themselves shorthanded. KPC to the power play.
Yes, certainly. I saw some great puck handling there from Mueller. You know, really seeing his lanes open. Got a good centering opportunity. Nothing to capitalize on it, though. But they do get the break with the penalty and in the eventual power play.
It's Fasaro off for a trip. And that puts KPC on the power play. But a good defensive zone draw win and clearing of the puck by Mikowski. It's Waterman in his own end. Circling back with it, getting it to Schwartz, who dangles before passing it along to Pugh. Pugh on the backhand along that left wing side. Gets knocked down. Still able to play the puck back for Schwartz, who returns it back down low for Pugh. Good little pass for Jikas, but couldn't handle it, and it's fired down the length of the ice. A good clearing made by Northport Huntington, and that specifically being Gnisi. Waterman will reverse it to Schwartz. Minute 18 to go on the power play for KPC. As we're through 4 minutes of play in the first, Schwartz carries in. Schwartz, nice move to the forehand. Schwartz will try a shot that goes off the side of the cage. And back behind the net, Fernandez will flip to center and all the way down.
Yeah, if this is your chance for KPC to score and kind of get this momentum going on the offensive side, this is it with the power play.
Well, they've not really materialized much on the advantage. Another great defensive play made, this time by Worrell. Worrell trying to hit, that was Quinn. And they're on a Quinn doing some real grinding grit work in the corner before it pops out to Worrell, who sends it right back on goal where it can be played by Guarnieri. To the line, Matarese keeps in. Great penalty killing displayed from Northport Huntington. As you mentioned, Magnus, if you're trying to gain momentum from the power play, this is doing the exact opposite. Cormac Driscoll takes it away in the far corner, looking for a passing lane. Eventually tries the pass. It's blocked by Waterman, who just has to flip out of the zone and unable to hold in. And now with speed, it's Coyle. Speed and shot. Scores! What a play. Individual effort from Jake Coyle. 1-0 KPC, and it is a power play goal.
Yeah, we see Coyle, the 2-on-1 developing. He's able to break through that first line towards the blue line, and it's 1-on-1 there with him and Matarese, and he sticks it bottom right of the net and gets that first goal on the board for Kings Park.
It's one I believe Moscati wants back, and it's honestly a damper on what was a clinic of a penalty kill for Northport Huntington. They have to show their poise, and bouncing back from a back-breaking goal like that, which went against the grain, against the flow of the play, off the rush, but that's exactly the danger that KPC can present themselves. Into the corner now, it's the near corner. Finn Driscoll comes out for Quinn. Quinn and DeFeo bump. Puck knocked free, and KPC try to reset. DeFeo, good stretch pass ahead. Costanzo unable to really absorb the pass. Shot, score! Costanzo did the work. He couldn't quite corral the pass, but he got it in open space for the absolute rip. Pass Moscati, 2-0 KPC, just like that.
Yeah, in a game where momentum is so important, we see KPC riding it here early. Empty puck, looking for a stick to find. And kind of a misdeflected pass ends up right in the hands of this KPC squad, and he puts it top right.
Cohen Jikas with an absolute atom blast. And a shot, they score! Jikas! Just seconds later, they're coming in waves. 3-0 KPC in the blink of an eye.
Right as the face-off ensues, we still have the celebration there on the replay, but it was a quick goal there from KPC, and in the blink of an eye, we're up 3-0.
Oh my goodness. A Northport Huntington team that goes short-handed and have what looked to be a fabulous penalty kill, have just seconds left on it. And you get a goal against the flow of the play from Jake Coyle. And then 45 seconds later, Cohen Jikas on a bit of a broken play where the puck just hanging around in front with a cannon of a shot. And then just 8 seconds after that, it's who but Jikas again, his second of the game, with Kevin Schwartz picking up the assist. And so KPC rolling here early, jumping on top of Northport Huntington 3-0. It's off the high glass all the way down. It will not be enough for icing, so urged to play it on by the official Waterman. Waterman backhands one for Pugh. Pugh, a centering feed. Into the zone come KPC and Schwartz. Schwartz with Landman. Landman trying to dodge his way onto the puck, and ultimately picked up and cleared by Ajiri and the rest of the Northport Huntington gang out there. And pass hit a stick onto the stick of Coyle, who got the party started. Coyle. Nice little feed. They try to go back to Sattler. Matarese steps up there, makes the play, and Schwartz will send in before going for a change. Kevin Schwartz.
Yeah, the wave that we call momentum here in this game of hockey is certainly being rode by this Kings Park squad. You go within a span of a minute, a power play kill that was done beautifully by this Northport squad to now a 3-0 deficit.
We'll see if Northport Huntington have a response in them. The sooner the better. If, of course, that response is a goal. Coyle over the line, stick handling, Ushered to the wall by Matarese. Matarese now steps up with the poke check, but nonetheless, puck comes behind him, back onto the stick of Coyle. Coyle, now a delayed penalty. Going back to the power play, KPC. That shot off the side of the net. Coyle still on the puck. Man, it's like it's glued to his stick, and now finally a touch. And back to the power play going, as I mentioned, KPC. So 2 goals tonight for SCHSHL. Those are his first 2 goals of the season. And as the same could be said for Jake Coyle, who picks up his first of the season. A frustrated Matarese finds his way into the box. Power play KPC is underway. Nice play here from Chris Quinn to win the draw and initiate the clear. It's Kevin Schwartz going back to his defensive partner, who returns it to Schwartz. Schwartz. Cross-ice feed for Pugh. Pugh establishes the zone. Back to SCHSHL. Shot sticked away by Moscati. To the line, and Schwartz keeping in. Kevin Schwartz, wrist shot through traffic, blockered away by Moscati. And now a chance shorthanded. Chip in open space. It's Quinn. He's in. Quinn, wrist shot, missed the net wide. Whizzed past the glove and net behind Guarnieri. It's Fernandez who will fire in for the Tigers, shorthanded. And they're 0 for 1, 1 for 1 on the power play tonight. KPC. SCHSHL looking for the hat trick in the first period. It would be a natural one. Oh, what a pass! They score! That was utter beauty.
And another one on the board for this Kings Park squad. Feeds it right back, a centering bid. The goalie had no idea where it was. And beautifully to the stick of Pugh. And SCHSHL will pick up the apple on that play.
My goodness, one of the better passes you'll see. I have a hunch you'll find it later, maybe tomorrow, on a little thing called Last Night's Best. What's Last Night's Best, you ask? Oh, well, thank you for asking. That is, of course, our program that we have on social media at LI Sports Network, on Instagram and other places, where we'll recap the best plays from the night prior. Chance, and not slowing down anytime soon. KPC, Moscati will freeze it there. SCHSHL's third point of the night, an absolute beauty. 2 for 2 on the power play, KPC, early on this one.
Yeah, as we had mentioned, the aforementioned power play is going to be the momentum builder, and obviously showing early the difference maker in this contest, and what turns out to be a 4-0 lead for Kings Park. Coming on the power play was 3 of them.
Yeah, a real slow start for KPC, and they go to the power play. They really have nothing doing on that first power play till the final seconds, where really one rush up the ice from Coyle, who has it now. Coyle, a backhander through. That's exactly kind of how he scored that goal. And next thing you know, 2 quick ones from SCHSHL. Another power play for KPC, and another dazzling play from Cohen SCHSHL, and are the Knights that lead by 4 early, first period. Well, not early quite so anymore. That puck is flung on. That is stopped by Rex Moscati. Northport Huntington now find themselves in quite the hole. Will have to try to slowly build themselves out of it.
Yeah, I think it's certainly the pace that KPC is carrying themselves with. They're going up and down this sheet. They're getting the puck around to all different guys, whether it's Coyle, SCHSHL, or Pugh now, all themselves with goals. And I think that's one thing that Northport is going to have to adopt here.
And for Pugh, you mentioned he scored. That is his first of the season. First of the year for Chris Pugh. Cross-ice pass, Costanza. Costanzo picking up an assist on the SCHSHL goal. Off the wall. Lipiello. He tried to find Fasaro. Back in it goes. Another try to clear it here from Ronan Driscoll. Finds itself on the stick of Quinn. That will bank all the way down and be an icing despite Fasaro, who would have been the first to touch it. That a rule in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. 3:43 to go. First period. All Kings Park. They're up 4-0.
Yeah, certainly. Northport with no answers early on here, but yet again, as you'd mentioned, not exactly early in the first period, but certainly early on in this game. A lot of time for Northport to go to the drawing board, maybe figure out what they need to do differently, and kind of go on the counterattack here for what Kings Park has going.
Again, everything seemingly starts with one as Mikowski gets knocked down a bit behind the play by Zhikas, and I believe they'll get Zhikas for a penalty here. And what better way to mount a comeback than scoring on the player advantage? So Cohen Zhikas shown his way into the box. Power play, Northport Huntington, a roughing call assessed against Zhikas. Coming in to take the draw, the other captain of Northport Huntington, Ganesi. However, it's one in, quickly cleared by Coyle, who picks up speed to the neutral zone. Coyle joined by Sattler. Sattler to the loose puck, chips it behind the Northport Huntington net. They wrap it around, hoping for Worrell. Worrell gets there, stopped by the snow in front of the Northport Huntington bench. Has to try to reset. Mikowski avoiding a hit from Sattler. Nonetheless, it's Coyle that rips it back into the Northport Huntington end. 30 seconds already gone by on the power play for the Tigers. Mikowski knocked off his stick by DeFeo. Sent into the zone by Worrell, on goal, stopped by Guarnieri. To the line, it is Matarese. And hounding Worrell was hounding Coyle. Coyle evading Worrell, gets it to safety in the form of Sattler, and out it goes. Right back into the zone, Ganesi. Ganesi trying to muscle his way through, unable to do so. And now with speed the other way, DeFeo. DeFeo trying to evade the defender, and that is Fernandez, and Fernandez stood up DeFeo. Ganesi to Worrell. DeFeo read it beautifully, took it right away, and will skate into the neutral zone, picking up speed, circling with the puck. DeFeo. DeFeo marching on in, has it poked away by Matarese and the efforts of Fernandez. Still nothing really doing offensively, though, on this player advantage as Quinn comes quickly onto the puck, and Kevin Schwartz able to steer it to safety. Cross DeFeo into the zone. DeFeo hits the brakes. Head up, looking for someone to move the puck. Backhands one behind his back to Schwartz, who will wrist one on for Moscati, who makes the save. Just 12 seconds left to go on the power play for Northport Huntington, and they have iced the puck. No, they have not. No icing. Mistaken. Grayson Henderson colliding with DeFeo. Henderson continues to watch DeFeo, nearly forces a turnover, runs into Pugh. DeFeo back on it. Tries the far wall, and again the good forecheck. Combined efforts of Henderson and now Chris Quinn keep the puck in the zone for Northport Huntington. However, we're 5-on-5 once more. Tigers 0 for 1 on the power play as Kings Park have iced the puck.
Yeah, if you're Northport Huntington and you're wondering how good your power kill looked like, that's what it was right there. Kings Park did a great job of kind of mirroring what Northport did on that power kill. Northport really didn't have an opportunity throughout that entire power play. And so we've seen some phenomenal power kills this far.
Power kill. As that's a penalty kill with power, as back the other way, Northport Huntington. No, it's they did a fantastic job. A man down did KPC. No real opportunities for Northport Huntington with the 5th player out on the ice as opposed to KPC's 4, as Schwartz will spin one up the wall for Landman. Landman running into the resistance of Matthew Cohen. Schwartz weaving his way through the neutral zone. Kevin Schwartz into the O zone. Kevin Schwartz, a sharp angle try, is stopped by Moscati, who's hugging that post.
Yeah, some transitional play here. Not a lot of time left to go in the first period. If you're Kings Park, maybe trying to get this puck back in your offensive zone, drain this clock out, and get your team to the second period.
DeFeo steps around one. DeFeo with space. Shot wide. Algieri try to flip it out of the zone. Unsuccessful first attempt. Tries a second. Fanned on it. Back across and nearly tapped in by Landman down low. Again, Northport Huntington trying to clear, and they are bailed out by the expiring of the clock, signaling the end of the first period. It couldn't have gone much better for the Kings Park Commack Knights as they score not once, not twice, not thrice, but thrice. I made up that word. 4 times in the first period. 4-0 lead for KPC at the end of 1 over Northport Huntington. You are listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan alongside Magnus Healy will be back for the second in just a moment after this. Welcome back to the Rinks and Oppog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan, Magnus Healy, and cameraman Wally Mitchell taking you through this JV middle frame game between KPC, Northport Huntington. It was a back and forth start that really was a defensive struggle. No one could really get much space. And then, Magnus, then came the goals.
Yeah, the penalty kill from Northport ended up backfiring as Kings Park gets that goal early on with Coyle, followed by 2 with Chicas, and then later on in that first period, Pugh getting his hands in on the action. As early on we see some offensive action from Northport.
Yeah, you want to see a response for the Northport Huntington Tigers. That's what you get here early in the second. The team trailing by 4. You want to see some pushback, then they'll go back to the power play. They are 0 for 1 on the player advantage thus far tonight. It'll be Kevin Schwartz, one of the top defenders for Northport Huntington, or pardon, for KPC, going off the ice. Schwartz with 3 assists thus far in the young season. 1 tonight, 2 in the prior game. And offside are Northport Huntington, and the puck deflected off of Worrell up high, and so we have an offside.
Yeah, with some hopes hopefully here, maybe capitalize. The penalty kill from Kings Park was phenomenal to end out the first period. Combating that here would be nice for Northport to get something going on their end.
It sometimes just takes one. Mikowski with Coyle all over him, able to get it to Ganesi. Ganesi trying to muscle his way through DeFeo. DeFeo had the better of him, took it away, takes it to the backhand. Nice move, DeFeo, unable to pull the trigger. Fernandez back-checking, made a good play, but you don't really want good back-checking plays when you're on the power play. You want offense. Let's see if Northport Huntington can get something going. A long-range shot from Ganesi is gloved by Guarnieri. And so with $1:20 to go and a minute gone by in the second period, an offensive zone draw for the Tigers.
Yeah, as you'd mentioned, you don't really want to be in the position to be succeeding on back checks during the penalty, or the power play, excuse me. You want to more be on the offensive attack, but it was a great job there from Northport to get back in transition and prevent anything from happening.
That it was. Back to the point. Mattery shot through traffic, stopped by Guarnieri. His first real difficult test of the game, as those point shots can be tricky. Minute 8 to go, power play. It's Mikowski in the corner, centering feed, and he took a big hit to make it. Could not be handled by Ganesi, as Ganesi will try to hold that one in, and DeFeo has other plans and will spin it into the neutral zone. That's where Sattler runs into Matteris. Matteris didn't like that, gave him a little shove back. Nonetheless, KPC will send it down the length of the ice. Matteris. Go ahead, Magnus.
Yeah, if this is another unsuccessful power play for Northport, something's got to switch throughout this second period, get something going. You can't have in a power play this much defensive time.
I totally agree. Grayson Henderson and Chris Quinn, who's streaking up the ice, will try to change that fortune. Nice little play off the boards to himself by Henderson. Henderson hounded by Zikas. Tries to center one. It goes off the skate of Zikas and is collected and skated out by DeFeo. DeFeo trying to get around Cormac Driscoll, does. Has it around the Northport Huntington net, killing precious remaining power play time in just 2 seconds and 1, and we're back to 5-on-5 as DeFeo continues to circle around the net like a vulture circling its prey. Puts one in front in the high slot. Coyle challenged by Quinn. Quinn will get the best of Coyle there, but not out of the zone. Matarese gives Sattler a shove. Sattler gets there, centering feed. Jikas looking for the hat trick, goes by him. Here's Kevin Schwartz. Another centering try is stopped by the stick of Moscati, and we get a stoppage with 12:10 to go here in the second.
Yeah, Kings Park's sort of just dangling this puck around the interior and exterior of this Northport defense, kind of just maneuvering their way from, the backboard to now out the blue line. And so many more opportunities and a much more better vision of the ice ahead of them. And this is what it created in the opportunities, the 4 goals so far.
Certainly been the case thus far, and opportunistic, and they get a chance, they'll make the most of it. There's a play out in front. Cicilla unable to get a hold of it. Fasaro skating it out, helping it along that time. I believe that was Matthew Cohen. Here's Pugh the other way. Wrist shot hits the skate of Ojiri. Ojiri tries to line up Pugh for a hit, but ultimately decided to pull back. Along for Judkins, Aiden Judkins up the wall, and Fasaro trying to break into the zone. Waterman and Coyle both there, and Waterman will slow it down. Schwartz, this is a JV squad helped out by a large part reinforcements coming from the freshman team. Chance Northport, Huntington, a save made. Guarneri on Fasaro, and that was Guarneri's best stop of the night.
Yes, certainly. For the first time, it seems most of the second period, Kings Park has some pressure on their end, and Guarneri stays composed, gets his pad to it, and says no thank you on the shot attempt.
I'll be having that as he swallows up the play. No rebound given up by Guarneri. Face off won by KPC, held in at the line by Fernandez. Battle ensues. Gnisi, again, both these teams really been helped out by the reinforcements coming from their freshman counterpart teams from a season ago. Fernandez was a KPC freshman team that put together quite the number of wins as they amassed. But if you're a chance, a save made by Guarneri. A good shot coming from Peter Mikowski. And as I mentioned, KPC finished third. A 17-win campaign as they found themselves in the semis, where they ultimately fell short. Backhanded along, and as well as their developmental team, which went all the way to the championship game before falling to the Cinderella story of Connecticut Sayville, spearheaded by Logan Dietz. Meanwhile, back in this game, Fernandez shoveled it ahead. DeFeo makes one man miss. En route to storming into the zone. DeFeo looking for a deflection from Jikas. Just missed him. And now it'll be Fernandez along the far wall. Fernandez does his best to backhand in. He will, but lacking the reinforcements for a good forecheck. But now a turnover forced, and Quinn will send it in, wraps it around the boards, hoping for help from a winger. Won't get any there. Doesn't have the legs for icing. Immediately waved off by the official, who's also doubling as the linesman. Costanzo, Cormac Driscoll, as well as Ronan Driscoll back there, trying to create a breakout attempt for Northport Huntington. Ahead, no icing. Quinn will get there first. Backhands a pass out in front. Alert and excellent stick there from Guarneri. Kevin Schwartz now dangles. Schwartz, wrist shot, fought off by Moscati. Now centers one that just goes wide. Landman with a huge chance out in front. Now back the other way, Grayson Henderson has his transition chance ended shortly. There's a rip from Schwartz that is knocked down by the glove of Moscati, who will cover.
Yeah, great job on those two saves there against the forceful offense that Kings Park has had so far. Rex Moscati now with two saves on that possession, looking to get something going for Northport.
Face off to the left of the aforementioned Tiger netminder, Moscati. Quinn to take it from Coyle. Quinn won it forward. DeFeo keeping it alive from the blue line. Now Jerry gets a play on it in the near corner. Chips it along the wall for Cormac Driscoll. His centering feed for Quinn. Eventually finds him and is fired over the net. Sattler smashed into there by Troy Lipiello. Yet the puck comes the other way for Coyle. Coyle has his stick lifted by Algieri. Good defensive play. And now the puck will end up grazing the netting. And out of play, we'll get a whistle. 8:04 to go, or 8:09 to go in the second period. 4-0 KPC on 4 first period tallies.
I mean, I am a firm believer in the announcer's jinx. I don't know about you, but the Kings Park shutout does remain so far. And will it stick?
Yeah, you said the word, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, they have not allowed a goal this season, I'll raise you. And this is, again, two different goaltenders we've seen thus far from the Knights. Lipiello has space to move it, and he tried to skate around Muller, and Muller just beautiful hip check. Absolute textbook play. I'm sure many have done it in Shell. Meanwhile, the other way, with a little whoop goes, that's Coyle, in the pass ultimately to Pugh. Ran out of room out in front, they score! Pugh to Coyle, 5-0 Knights.
Yeah, Pugh gets behind the cage there, dangles it around the goalie's initial stick attempt. You see Coyle tap the ice. He's like, I want this puck. Pugh with a great centering opportunity and buried into the bottom right for a 5-0 Kings Park lead.
It's been all Knights, 4 in the first, their first tally of the second, from the player who had the first goal of the game, that being Jake Coyle. That was his second of the Knights, second of the season. Pugh picking up the assist. And for Pugh, I believe his second point as well. Yes. So 2 points now for Chris Pugh, and same could be said for Coyle. 3 points for Zikas. And again, trying to turn the tide. Good forecheck from Ganesi, comes out of the corner. The shot goes just wide. But great effort from Ganesi, nearly paid off in the score column. Meanwhile, KPC breakout in efficient fashion. Zikas. A little quick tumble down. Brought on by the defense of Finn Driscoll. Mikowski tries a little no-look backhand breakout. Doesn't work the first time, and now he's got plenty of room to do so on his own. Crisscrossing at the shot, score! Peter Mikowski scores Northport Huntington's first goal of the game, the first goal allowed all year by KPC. You've done it. By golly, you've done it, Magnus.
The jinx is true. The shutout is over. The first goal allowed on the season from Kings Park, as it's a textbook breakaway for this Northport squad. Nothing but open net, or excuse me, ice rather, as Mikowski puts it in the net to get Northport on the board here.
So exactly what you want to do on a 2-on-2. They call it the scissor play. They call it a little crisscross, the what have you, and that's what they do with the two players on the rush. Just switch sides, and it creates space, as it did there, for Mikowski, who, I mean, has a perfectly placed shot. to get it by Guarnieri. But now looking like they have momentum. A 2-on-1 developing. Grayson Henderson lets one go. A kick save made Guarnieri, and it's quickly fired off the wall all the way down. Will it be icing? No. Matarese. Can Northport Huntington generate some momentum? Now they've got a tally up on the board. Ronan Driscoll battling DeFeo. DeFeo prevailing. However, Cormac Driscoll gets to the loose puck. Has a player. That's Grayson Henderson looking for speed. He couldn't corral it in. Back it comes Matarese. Matarese ahead. It's quickly knocked back the other way by Northport Huntington's Muller. Good pass shot from Costanzo. Denied by Moscati. With a 5:20 to go here in the second. It's a 5-1 lead for the KPC Knights.
Yeah, phenomenal shot there, but a textbook save and eaten up there from Moscati to keep this Kings Park team and lead within reach for this Northport squad with 5:20 to go in the second period.
A face-off to the left of Moscati, controlled by the Knights. He'll stick that one into the near corner. Will Moscati. Centering feed broken up by Cohen. Comes to the blue line. Schwartz was there. Northport Huntington, well, the clearing attempt thwarted by tumbling to the ice from Lippiello. It breezed across the crease, and now the front of the net where it's full. Ultimately, good pass from Lippiello. Fasaro, nice move, breaks in. Fasaro ultimately checked from behind by a back-checking Coyle. Not out of the woods yet, or KPC. A centering feed, Lippiello couldn't pull the trigger. Now the shot comes, an alert save made by Guarnieri. Backhanded right out in front. Dribbling puck, deflected a bit. On the doorstep was Lippiello and covering up Guarnieri.
Yeah, phenomenal job there between Fasaro and Lippiello. Great puck handling, getting the puck, up and down the ice and between each other. Just no opportunity there seen, but it will come with due time if they can continue to facilitate like they did there.
Yeah, they definitely generated some of the best offense of the game thus far. Have the Northport Huntington Tigers. That puck ripped around the wall, held in by Algieri. That shot, a great deflection was set up. Think they got it in and saved Guarnieri. Algieri doing everything he can to keep the puck in, and it's still in the zone as Costanzo's pass hit Mikowski. And that pass eventually cut off by Ganesi. The goal, Mikowski. It's Quinn who gets the assist, by the way. As that shot comes, and an alert glove save made by Moscati.
Yeah, a little I'll take that from Moscati. Another good save in the offensive possession for Kings Park to limit what they can do and keep the score at 5-1. Looking to get Northport on their side, get something brewing from them following their one and only goal on the night.
So for Mikowski, his second of the season. From Quinn, his first point of the year. It comes by way of assist. Here is Mikowski. He'll get to it. Mikowski taking a big hit into the boards, but skating through it, looking to repossess the puck. However, DeFeo with a clean breakout defensively. Barrels in, takes the shot. A good save made by Moscati. And continuing to be an absolute wrecking ball out there, DeFeo brings it up the wall, absorbing hits, dishing out hits as well. Nice little pass, big chance down low, save made Moscati. Mikowski will break out now, hoping to get it to Worrell, a little bit past him. Back in it comes once more. Mikowski will flip it high into the KPC zone where Muller will track it down. Muller hounded by Worrell. Worrell forcing the turnover. Quinn from the bench looking to make something happen. Fernandez. A wrister blocker save made Guarnieri. Trying to clear, another turnover created by the forecheck of Northport Huntington. Quinn couldn't quite do much with it, however. And now DeFeo gets around one, hits the brakes, lets Quinn fly by him. A low shot, deflection, score! What a play by DeFeo! And I believe the hat-trick goal for SCHKS.
Yeah, we see there a phenomenal play by DeFeo. He hits the brakes, loses his Northport defender, sizes up what he has in the net, fires a shot, and into the goal. And it'll be a 6-1 lead now for Kings Park.
SCHCSHL is third of the evening from DeFeo and Kevin Schwartz, as Schwartz has amassed 2 points on the evening, his second assist. A 4-point night for Cohen SCHCSHL. As SCHCSHL came into the night without a point, is already up to 4. DeFeo, who came into the night with a hat trick, picks up his first assist. As KPC continue to roll, they have responded to the Northport Huntington goal with a goal of their own. It's 6-1. Ronan Driscoll's pass taken back by Landman. Nice move, Landman. Inside, outside, back inside for the shot, and a glove save made Mascotti.
Yes, certainly. As we're mentioning the hat trick that SCHCSHL has, it's got to feel pretty good this early in the season to have a hat trick under your belt. A pretty prestigious feat, as we see pretty commonly, though, around the Long Island Sports Network and the Suffolk County High School Hockey League.
Well, that we do. We've certainly had our fair share of multi-goal nights and some 4-goal, 5-goal campaigns, respectively, as Cormac Driscoll looking to burst his way onto the scene into the offensive zone. He will. It's Ronan with a shot toward the net. Knocked down by Waterman, but prevailing with the puck, Grayson Henderson. He'll backhand flip one in front for Quinn. Quinn just trying to push the puck toward Guarneri. Can't do so. Great defensive play made by KPC, and Coyle, who has it now, left the puck behind him so Ronan Driscoll can get to it and send it up ice. This will go on goal to Guarneri, who's quickly out to play it, and does for Sattler. Sicilla. That centering feed intercepted by Fasaro. Fasaro gets around DeFeo. DeFeo made to look a bit silly there by Fasaro. What a move. Up the wall. Schwartz carries in 2-on-2 over the blue, and a great step up and play made by Judkins. Sattler will bring it in just before Schwartz can touch up. So a stoppage with 31.9 left here in the second. 6-1 KPC over the Tigers of Northport Huntington.
Yeah, as you were mentioning there in transition, DeFeo had some amazing dangling of the puck throughout this Northport defense, and he's been phenomenal with the puck to his stick. He's been maneuvering all night. This has been one of the main reasons they've been able to create opportunities. It's at the stick of DeFeo.
Judkins takes a big hit in the far corner. Dishing out the hit that time for KPC was Sattler. Here's DeFeo, as you mentioned. He's been all over the place. He is in, draws a penalty, hits the brakes, centers one for Coyle. That just misfired. It's touched up by the Tigers. They will be shorthanded once more, and a perfect 2-for-2 power play for KPC will get a third chance. As it looks like Algieri goes off for the hook on DeFeo.
Yeah, not a lot of time left, but you're starting off in a good zone here. Maybe you can get some passes going, centered with DeFeo, and an opportunity to get another one on the board heading into the third.
So they'll stack to the left in front of the net. Coyle, I believe, will try to win it back to that man DeFeo, who will get a shot through with a lot of traffic. It is DeFeo, tries to step through, can't do so, and we'll reach the end of the second period. Northport Huntington do get on the board. However, 2 more goals for KPC keep them ahead by 5. It is the Knights with 6, Tigers 1 at the end of 2. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. The third period is on its way, and it's coming to you in just a moment after this. Welcome back to the Rinks and Oppog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan, joined by Magnus Healy, Wally Mitchell, and the Northport Huntington fans to my right who all have signs. One in which I read reads, "Yay, go Friends," and features the numbers of various players, including Mikowski, Algieri, and one other I forget at the moment.
Good hometown support.
Plenty of support coming for the Tigers. Mikowski, he's got the only goal of the game for the Tigers, rips a shot wide. Again, short-handed are the Tigers, and coming out with a point to prove is Mikowski. He's had himself quite the night in a navy blue and yellow, reminiscent of the Buffalo Sabres colors. And cutting to the net, Ganesi, shot blocked. Wraparound try, Mikowski, and again, great penalty killing work from those two forwards up front. But breaking out our KPC, Costanzo will fling one on, sticked away by Mikowski, right back out in front. The shot from Pugh deflected up and over. Waterman holds in, but there's Mikowski, and Mikowski able to chip it in deep. Schwartz, Quinn, forechecking him. Matteries steps up, takes it away from Costanzo. Matteries will carry in from his defensive post. Wrists one toward the net, blocked by Schwartz. Matteries in the far corner. Eventually has the puck taken from him, as will be the case when there are four other jerseys surrounding you. Pugh, one of those jerseys, will carry it for KPC. However, rolls for Ronan Driscoll, who claps it out of the zone. DeFeo to Schwartz. Schwartz stepping around Worrell, absorbing a check. Nice move to the forehand, ripped it high and wide. Back on the stick, Kevin Schwartz. Knifed away from him by Quinn. Now DeFeo goes around for Pugh. Pugh centering feed. Hadjikas in front. Pushed out of the zone. Quinn hustling after it. DeFeo a step early, able to get there. And now a couple of passes to himself as Matteries into the KPC and throws a shot on goal. Right pad save, Guarnieri. Touch pass in the center for Sattler. Sattler eventually has it come off his stick. Now for DeFeo once more. Successful kill for the first time tonight for Northport Huntington. They are 1 for 3 on the penalty kill.
You need some of it to go your way, though. You can have as many penalty kills as you want, but if it's not resulting in goals going back to your way, it can only do so much for you, as they've played great in transition. Some great back checks there from Henderson and Worrell playing on their ends, as well as Matteries. He's been flying up and down the sheet tonight, making an impact. Will Northport piece it together here?
Yeah, and at the worst case scenario for Kings Park Commack, you don't get a goal in the power play, but you kill 2 minutes of time off the clock. And when you're down 5, you need as much time as you can possibly get. Quinn trying to get to the loose puck in the circle, fluttered through, and it wouldn't be deflected on with the chance in front. Commack Driscoll, one of 3 Driscolls. I believe they are triplets. Muller to DeFeo, right onto the tape of Coyle, who will circle back and through as if he were making a knot. Coyle into the zone. Eventually shoved down in the boards, and the breakout pass just missing as they were trying to connect with Cohen from the bench. Commack Driscoll chips in, and now needing to touch up, they exit the zone. Quick saucer to Coyle. Coyle over the blue line into the zone for the Knights. A wrist shot goes wide, blocker side. Fazzaro, or rather that is Cohen for Commack Driscoll. Driscoll around the defender, shot, scores! What a play! Commack Driscoll, his first of the season. It's 6-2.
Yeah, exactly what Northport wants to see there. A breakaway opportunity. Get a goal on the board for yourself. And Driscoll, assisted by Cohen, a little poke to the far right corner. And it's 6-2 suddenly.
First point of the campaign for both players. Cohen the assist, Driscoll the goal. It's 6-2. Can again some momentum be generated? A backhand shot is denied. And again, a good play. That's Matthew Cohen.
Yeah, Cohen making an impact here early on in the third quarter as he picked up the apple on that last goal for Northport. Looking to continue the momentum, ride the wave that we had been talking about, the hypothetical one at that. We are in an ice rink.
Yeah, no waves in here, but certainly sound waves entering your ears coming from yours truly and Magnus. And if you like what you hear, be sure to continue to check us out at LI Sports Network. Is the YouTube channel where I urge you to subscribe. Be notified as well whenever we are on the call for any future games involving KPC, JV, varsity, freshman, and developmental. Same could be said for the other side of the ice, Northport, Huntington. You also can comment when you subscribe. It's like we have a barren comment section tonight, but by all means, your shout-outs can be read aloud right here on LI Sports Network.
Feel free, we're a talkative bunch.
Yeah, but it is what I get paid to do. Fortunately or unfortunately for you. Hopefully fortunately. 10:23 to go, third period. It's still KPC 6 on the board, but now a 2 for Northport Huntington. Can they do it? Well, looks like they're going to go to the power play here. A third chance on the man advantage for the Tigers of Northport Huntington.
You need to capitalize here.
I think so.
Certainly.
Ganesi will win the draw shot. Quickly comes Guarnieri, flashing the right pad, gets a piece of it. And it's fired the length of the ice by Landman. Matarese. A little over 10 minutes to go here in the third period. Crazier things have happened. Nice little move, Ganesi, but the puck rolling off his stick. Worrell unable to send in, so hitting the reset button, Northport Huntington. Ganesi enters, wrist shot, wow, that almost went. As not getting a pad, but going for the blocker save was Guarnieri that time. Whoa. Nevertheless, night's clear, and the Tigers must go the full length once more. Worrell circling with it, passing ahead, has Matarese, but Coyle takes it from him from behind, unable to get it out, held in by Mikowski, who will slash it down the wall. Round it goes to Feo. He will try to clear it right back out the other way, and a missed backhand attempt from Mikowski will allow him to do so. Coyle picks up the puck, wrist shot high and wide on the near side, the blocker side of Moscati. Quinn into the zone, hounded by Landman. Quinn will shuffle it down the wall for Worrell. Just about 30 seconds to go on the power play, Northport Huntington. Out of the zone and hops over the stick of Ronan Driscoll. Ronan for Quinn. Quinn on the tape of Commack. His backhand pass for Henderson fanned on, and thus KPC reestablished control. It's Jikas in his skates. So turning it up the other way, Grayson Henderson. Henderson takes a peek behind him, realizes he has Quinn. Quinn hounded by Jikas. Commack Driscoll now. Henderson once more for Algieri. The power play is over. Slap shot deflected just wide off the stick of Henderson. Nearly came out the other way. Henderson out in front. Another scramble is on. The poke, and it wouldn't go. Held out by Guarnieri. Oh, the puck did cross the line, but after the whistle. And speaking of after the whistle, it looks like a group discussion is taking place.
Yeah, group discussion indeed. We saw the developmental league earlier. It's been fireworks, both down there and up here, which is why I watch it here on the Long Island Sports Network.
Well, this doesn't quite escalate like we saw in the developmental league between, that was Longwood facing off against East Islip, not noted rivals by any means, but they might as well be after this, after what we saw previous to this game. As we had major penalties and charging penalties and players thrown off the ice. Nothing quite of that magnitude here tonight, or in this game. Not yet, anyway. 6-2. KPC in front. Kevin Schwartz from his defensive post, putting one out in front, and a nice stick from Ronan Driscoll, breaking it up. Henderson generated that last opportunity for the Tigers. They came oh so close to pulling within 3. Centering feed. Quinn does get there, but the shot off the side of the net. And Costanzo. Kevin Schwartz. 2-on-2 over the blue. Shot is stopped and held by Mascotti, who really has bounced back from that flurry of goals he allowed in the first. Oh, we have Magnus pointing my attention back onto the ice as, well, the play was finished, at least the on-ice portion, a little after the whistle nonsense. But as I was saying, Mascotti, big bounce back.
Yeah, certainly. Started off a little rough, but centered himself, and since then, not a lot of goals for the remainder of this game. Stay composed.
Yeah, he had 3 in less than a minute at one point. 2 and 8 seconds apart. And he really locked it down after the 4th goal, allowing just 2 more despite pretty consistent pressure brought on by the Kings Park Commack Knights, who look to improve to 2-0 this year in the JV division. Their sights set on avenging last season's playoff loss. Centering feed. Lippiello couldn't quite get to it. It's in the skates, and Muller over skating. DeFeo back on it. DeFeo. The puck just seems to find him and stay on his stick as he enters the zone. Nice move. DeFeo with the up top flip that goes over the net. He had Mascotti down. He just couldn't get the puck in the sweet spot over the shoulder and under the bar. DeFeo backhands one again out in front. Fasaro there, and no one covered for DeFeo. It's a breakaway chance. Lippiello, he's in. He shoots at a kick save at the very last moment. Guarnieri.
What a save from Guarnieri. The breakaway coming, and he simply just sticks his leg out and says, not today.
Dangerous pass across from DeFeo. Lucky Fasaro didn't have his stick in the lane, or that would have been a bad turnover. Nevertheless, it's brought in by Schwartz, who draws the penalty, and it'll be Jack Fernandez going off for the Tigers, and that'll definitely put a damper in any heroic comeback attempts.
Yes, certainly. Mascotti, as we mentioned earlier, keeping Northport in this game by all means with his play in the cage. But definitely a power play for the opposing team when you are down is not going to help you. But a penalty kill will.
5:24 to go, 3rd period. Fernandez will sit for 2. The penalty listed as holding. Puck still trapped in the circle, freed, and back to Schwartz. D-to-D, Waterman loads up, fires wide. And Matarese will wrist it down the ice. It skipped off a body before ricocheting into the far corner. And that's where it's backhanded into the KPC bench. $1:38 left on the power play for Kings Park Commack, their 4th of the evening. Just a hair over 5 to go in the game.
Time is of the essence here for Northport. Obviously, a penalty kill wouldn't really help you too much, but evading another goal is crucial, and a penalty kill resulting in your own goal would certainly help. It's a difficult task to do.
Yeah, short-handed goals not easy to come by. Quinn trying to just get it out of the zone, and Algeri will do just that. And 2 for 3 on the power play tonight, KPC. They've got 1:10 left to work with. Not the most urgency we've seen from them with a comfortable 4-goal lead. Waterman trying to split through everyone, cannot. Quinn, though, can't nudge it the last couple of inches it needed to get out. Now it's out, thanks to the help of Worrell. That one's flipped up and over the glass, out of play. Stopping the clock with 4:12 left here in the third. 48 seconds of power play time remain. It's a good time to remind you that coming up immediately following the conclusion of this game will be another JV game. Again, this one featuring 2 heavy hitters. St. Anthony Gold against Smithtown Blue. Again, both of those teams splitting themselves up. They have so many players, they can field 2 squads at the JV level just as they did at the freshman level, that being Smithtown Hop Hog, and that should be an excellent game. KPC defeated that Smithtown Hop Hog squad 5-0. How will they respond? And not getting them very easier on the schedule with St. Anne's. Meanwhile, dangling through Worrell, runs into Muller, and ultimately the puck on the stick of DeFeo, where it's been, I feel like, for at least half the game. Costanzo, wrist shot, is stopped by Moscati. 9 seconds on the power play remain.
Yes, certainly, as you said, DeFeo seemingly the main puck handler thus far tonight. Wherever it is, he is, and it's been proven throughout the entirety of this third period. He dangles through Northport with ease, and no problem on his end.
It's a bit surprising DeFeo not more represented in the points category. He has an assist, that is all. Feels like he's been involved in pretty much everything here tonight.
The definition of a facilitator on his end. I mean, look at him.
There's another SAT word for it, facilitator. It's a good one. And without a stick, Fernandez just kicking it right onto the stick of who else? DeFeo, who will slide one through, all the way through. Costanzo will pick it up off the wall. His centering feed intercepted by Mikowski, and Mikowski can chart his way up ice. 2-on-3 over the blue line. Still got it through, and Ganesi with a great shot denied by Guarnieri. And when he's been tested, Guarnieri has had to come up with quite a number of good saves here tonight. Matarese keeping it alive for the Tigers. Stretching the zone. Going east to west. Poking it along. Henderson at the blue line. Spinning, backhands it down further. Ganesi going to work. The gritty, grinding forecheck game for the Tigers. Trying to generate some offense out of it, but Schwartz, speeding out of trouble, will carry it out of the zone. And into the offensive zone. Kevin Schwartz, wraparound shutdown. Great read from Algieri. As we approach 2 minutes remaining in regulation time. Rashad Waterman gloved and held Moscati.
It makes it easier as a team, you know, throughout these periods when you get to like the later half of the 3 minutes remaining, when, you know, you might have a lead and you're trying to drain this clock down to its last seconds. When you have a team like Kings Park who has phenomenal stick handling between DeFeo, Schwartz, and Chicas, where you could just dangle your way through the opposing defense with ease and the seconds drip away.
That they do, and that they are. Like a leak that can't be stopped, the seconds keep dripping. $1:40. Good step up by Schwartz. Kevin Schwartz, centering feed blocked. Puck conveniently rolls right back on his stick. Nice little play though. Fasaro had a streaking Lippiello. It's on the other side of the red line, so no icing. Lippiello is the first there. Fasaro putting the hit on Waterman. Now Schwartz. Centering Gikas. 3 goals and an assist tonight. 4 points for Cohen Gikas, leading the charge for KPC. Here's leading the charge up ice is Algieri. Puts it in the corner. Fasaro first on it. circles, centers, and unable to get stick position was Algieri. Fired up the wall, not out. Glanced off of Gnisi, and then it'll go all the way down. It will become an icing against KPC, stopping the clock once more with 42.6 to go.
Yeah, certainly at this point, with Kings Park's ability to maneuver their way around the sheet, you went from having, what was it, 7 minutes or so remaining when you scored your second goal. Seemingly a comeback was on the horizon, and Kings Park's shifty stick handling shuts those dreams down.
So off the draw to the near side, Guarnieri didn't handle it as cleanly as he could have, but he stops the puck, covers up 31.6. Again, coming up about 10 minutes or so after the conclusion of this game, St. Anthony JV gold, Smithtown JV blue, as a stuff-in try from Gnisi shut down by Guarnieri. St. Anthony coming off a thrilling 5-4 victory against SCHSHL. That was a phenomenal game if you had the chance to see it. I had the pleasure of calling it. As again off the draw, Gnisi, great shot. Again playing till the very last whistle. Northport Huntington, wrister from the blue line. A lot of traffic, they score! And it looks like it was Gnisi who found the loose puck in front, looking for a goaltender interference call is Guarnieri, and I'm not sure he's going to get it as he shrugs to the crowd, he shrugs to the official, he shrugs to the bench. Still shrugging. The shrugging hasn't stopped. He continues to look perplexed. 6-3, 12.5 to go. I gotta say, there was a scramble out in front, Magnus, and that shot goes off the side of that and wide. We'll conclude the end of the game.
Was it goaltending? Probably there, yeah. Will he get it?
Was
no.
there interference? A little bit.
You only give up 3 goals on the night. You still walk away happy.
He did. And again, the first 3 goals allowed in the season for KPC. So if you want to take a win out of it for Northport Huntington, you can hang your hat on that. Gnisi from Matarese in the final moments of the third period to make it 6-3, perhaps making the game a bit closer than it in reality was. But credit to Northport Huntington for not giving up and playing to the very last whistle despite trailing in the game by that margin. And with that, any last thoughts here tonight, Magnus, for this second or first JV game? Our second will be on the way.
No, I mean, Kings Park played phenomenal. Their transition was well. Obviously, the goalies played phenomenal. All around, it was a very well-rounded team tonight. A much better team, despite the scoreboard will say Northport played than their first 45, and they will continue to improve as the season progresses.
Yeah, good third period for the Tigers. Something to build upon moving forward as they start the year 0-2. Again, just a 1 win last season. I think they already look much, much better than the team a year ago. And with that being said, it's about time we conclude this broadcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. From our cameraman and additional tech support brought to you by Wally Mitchell, our board operator throughout the game, running the scoreboard and such, as well as including in some color commentary, that provided by Magnus Healy. I am Ryan Brannigan, and until next time, well, I hope you have a very good night. Our final score, 6 for KPC, 3 for Northport Huntington. Again, have a good night.